Hey guys, today is kind of a day for me. I'm really annoyed with myself, and that makes sense. Here we go. One of my doors was open because I was grabbing something earlier and I forgot to close it. I'm really annoyed with myself right now. This video can be talking about why I'm working on something, and on top of it, I'm planning how drinking a gallon of water went, but I want to really talk to you. I'm a dancer, as you know, I put a lot of work into things, but I'm really annoyed right now with myself because my ballet teacher gave me a goal a couple of weeks ago, my first ballet teacher with the worldwide. I don't know if we still have her because we did have a new one this past Monday, and what happened was she gave me a goal because we were working on something and we had finished it and we were still working with the bar, and she's like, okay, now I'll do your splits. Now, I kind of had a disadvantage for two reasons with it. First up, I don't have three or four reasons. I don't have my splits. That's the first disadvantage. Second disadvantage is I have a green thing on my bar, and the reasoning is we didn't have it on there at first. When we first made it, we didn't glue anything because everything just popped together really easily. Well, it was really wobbly, and the bar kept falling apart, so we decided to glue it. We glued it. That helped. Nothing fell apart since then. Except for when we move it, and that's because we did not glue the support thing. Let me kind of hold you, if I can hold you correctly. That part right there. Hopefully you saw it. I think you did. But the part where the bars are, so at the top there's the two bars, and then there's little poles that connect to a base. So we didn't glue the base to it because that way we can twist it and we can move it places, which we needed because we needed that in case one day we move or something, or just in general the fact that every Wednesday I take class in the living room, and I need the bar for that because with Gianna Martello we have the warm up and stuff, which involves the bar usually for parts and stuff. So we needed it to be able to move it around and stuff. So easy. But what happened was actually the Monday that me and Bella took that ballet class together, which was supposed to be fun, but then ended up kind of not being, and I'm going to get into that in a second, which the reason it wasn't fun was because of the fact that, at first, we, logged on, everything was good, and then all of a sudden, Bella was it brings up, oh, it's sad that I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'm like, no, you're supposed to stay the whole, for 5 days, and she's explained, and then pretty much ended up, she did leave, but that was her choice, no one was forcing her to. Okay, and literally she won. The only reasoning, and in which I have to keep telling myself this, because it was really sad for me and hard. The only reasoning was because my niece has a little girl that we're related to, and I teach her dance sometimes. I did one class so far, and it hasn't gone anywhere, just due to school and just due to that they're not always here and stuff. But Bella hasn't seen her since she was really little, like 2 years old, like really little. Oh, and now I'm pretty sure she's like 4 or 5. And stuff. So Bella really wanted to see her. Like, it was never to put me down, and she actually felt bad leaving because she knew how disappointed or how sad I was about, partly because. One second. That was not me, like, showing my middle finger, like, wasn't trying to. Sorry, my dad was here. Okay, he's gone. Yeah. But, Bella knew, because it was the only thing I was really looking forward to since losing my crush. And so, like, but anyways, that Monday, and they told us to, like, put our leg up on the bar, and at this point we already knew it was kind of wobbly. So Bella went, like, you should do it first. Or so I, like, instead of doing it at the same time, because the bar was so wobbly that it, like, we couldn't do it at the same time. So, like, I did it, and then Bella went to do it, and it literally threw my leg off. Like, literally what happened was it wobbled, and my foot slipped off. Luckily, everything was fine. I didn't even fall. It just looked like I accidentally took it off, put it back on even. So, yeah, at that moment, I went like, we need to do something. And so, at first, we looked into actually getting one of those, like, more, like, I feel like more in the studio type bars and stuff. But we realized it's like, to make one, it's like a lot of money. And this one was fine, other than that was unsafe. So my dad had the idea of taking the green stuff, which is to strap things into like a truck or something, and putting it on. So we did that, and now it is safe and stuff. And it kind of was a disadvantage, but not too much of one, because of the way that's angled. I kind of have to be in the middle, or else my leg's gonna rub up against it and stuff. And then also on top of that, I had another disadvantage. I'm short. Or so, like, as everyone in person was like doing it with their arms up, holding onto the bar, or I couldn't reach that bar. So my hands were like on the floor, and I'm like disadvantaged there because I can't hold on to the bar. Or which are some people that I watch on YouTube and stuff, like, say that it's easier doing that, but I don't know if it is or not. I'm not the one to tell you because I can't reach to do it. So yeah, that week I was alone. And so the teacher gave me a goal to work on. She said her goal was to have my splits by the end of June, or by the last, like, Monday in June, because that's when she would be seeing me last before June is done. And I feel like I'm going to let her down because I don't have them, and it's not her fault for doing that. She was just trying to push me and give me a challenge, and, like, I feel like I'm going to disappoint myself and disappoint her, and that's really sad because I worked on them earlier today. I made a video about it, but that's going to be disappointing because I don't think in this video I am going to work on them again. But I don't think it's possible for me to have them by 4:30 tomorrow. Like, I don't think it's possible, and the annoying part about it is I don't know too much of how to work on them. I watch YouTube tutorials, but none of it has ever worked for me. And like no one, like I feel like every YouTube tutorial that I watch on it is always the same thing. It's like, oh, do a bunch of like leg kicks behind and like, or like it's a bunch of like little things and then eventually you'll get them, but it takes time. And I'm like, I tried using that sort of stuff. It doesn't work for me, and so that's really annoying because on top of it not being able to reach the goal, but on top of it not even knowing how to, like right now I'm literally just continuously doing them until I get to where I can do them. And right now I think that's the best thing for me. I don't know though. So if you have any tips, please feel free to DM me or comment on my Instagram, Andy Forever, or my dog's Instagram. I probably won't reply on his because I don't reply on his, but baby_Sammy_for life. Just one word, for life. I don't think there's another underscore in there, but there might be. But I searched it before, and if you just search like baby underscore, sometimes you'll find it, and sometimes you have to put like Sammy and like so on. But yeah, I just don't want to let her down, but most of all, I don't want to let myself down because if I let her down, or even if I don't, I know that I'm just going to let myself down. So, I'm just hoping that some miracle works out and I have them by tomorrow. But on top of it, I did want to talk about drinking a gallon of water. That will not be happening for 2 reasons anymore. I definitely will be drinking a lot more water, but for multiple reasons. First off, I only lost 2 pounds, which I was shocked by because it's a whole gallon. And like, I can literally do the same thing by like what I've been doing. It's just gonna go up and down and up and down. But that's not the main reason. It's a lot of water. Like drinking a gallon of water, like the first quarter of it, I thought I would be kind of like sick of water by then, but it wasn't bad. I feel like, and once we got halfway, it still wasn't terrible. It was like after that halfway mark, even though I stopped, I drank a prune smoothie in between to like not like be totally sick of water. It was still bad. Like for me, like I'm not a water, like I don't like drinking water too much. So for me, that was something. And it's something that I tried, and also the other reason, if my parents question it, and even though I could just say why, I made a video on it, and if they really cared that much, they would watch the video. But also on top of it, I like my dad questioned it, and I'm like, just because, for no reason, and he's like, okay. Like, I'm obsessed with this shirt and how it turned out. Like, I haven't worn it yet, but that's because my life is JoJo and I wear JoJo. I like how it turned out. I like that. You kind of can't see, but I like the green in it and stuff. And it's just really cool. Here's the back. Yeah, I'm like, but yeah, for me it's interesting to think that, like, also on top of it right now, like, I feel like the annoying thing is that I could have had my split by now. I could have. But me being me, I was lazy and didn't push for it. I didn't. And that's being a dumb dancer, is what I like to call it. Sorry, you're all gonna, like, especially my family can be DMing me now, like, you're not dumb, or, like, no, what I mean by that is when, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, is when a dancer primarily has a goal of something they're gonna reach, and they don't work at it, like, something that they want to reach, they want it to happen, but they don't want to put the work in for it. And that's something that I feel like I was doing. And I, in my mind, for some weird reason, like, oh, if I just every once in a while did my splits, and one day I'll wake up and go to do them, and I'll naturally have them, and I'm like, that's not true. You gotta put the work in to get the reward. The work is part of the reward. Because then afterwards, you can be proud of yourself and say, hey, I put in so much work and it paid off. And I had time to work on it, but I didn't. And that's my fault, and that's fine. I'm hard on myself as a dancer. Like, I feel like I always been hard on myself. That's something true. I always kind of push myself even and scream at myself in my head when I want to do something and then I mess up on it or something. I just naturally am hard on myself. It's how I work. I would not recommend it. But that's naturally how I am. And so, like, like, that's how I am. So, but since I started dancing, that level of hardness had gone up a lot. Like, literally, and I remember this because it was like my first Wednesday class, and I remember getting so annoyed with myself, like, so annoyed with myself over one little mistake. And I kind of look back on it, and in that moment, I'm thinking in my head, oh, I'm being too hard on myself, but I'm not, like, kind of, like, mixed emotion. And now looking back on it, I'm like, I wasn't being too hard on myself. I shouldn't have made the mistake that I kept falling out of my turns. Like, I would go to do a turn, fall out of it. I constantly was falling out of my turns, and I'm like, that's a dumb mistake that if I didn't want to be screamed at in my head by myself, like have me screaming at myself in my head, then I shouldn't have made the mistake of falling out of my turn. I should have done it the right way and moved on. And that never would have happened. And you're probably like, oh, mistakes happen sometimes. What? What? And like what I like to think about, I'm like, if you work hard enough at something and you're not going to make a mistake on it. You're going to be able to just naturally like know it and know how to do it right and just do it right every time. But if you are one to make mistakes, if you do make mistakes, it's fine. Like like, it's fine. Like, sometimes you do have to make mistakes. But I feel like in that moment, it was something that I knew better than to do. I knew better than to do. I knew how to do it right. And I think in my mind, being lazy kind of just got to me a little. So, yeah, I'm going to work on my splits. I got my turning board because I don't want to get carpet burned. So let me set you on the floor. Yeah, I'm going to start with my right leg because it's my good leg. Okay, wait. What we're going to do, I'm making a mistake. So now I'm like, gotta fix my mistake. Okay. Almost had it there. I was so close. So guess what? Time to do it again. 14, maybe 15 more times. Four. Okay. I'm probably only gonna do it like 12 more times, but yeah. Okay. At this point, sorry, I just lied to you and I feel bad. I did it a couple of times, got really close, but I don't want to completely, I don't want to do it too many times because on last time that I tried to really push for them, I did it like 3 or 4 times per leg, and I wasn't even trying to push for them. It was that my parents turned into invested dance parents, and my mom turned into Abby, kind of. So, like, my mom was like, no, you're gonna stretch every day and do all of this for like an hour, and then what ended up happening was, that that I did them once, and then my parents didn't see, so then they're like, okay, now do your splits, and I'm like, I already did them. My mom's like, no, do them right now, because I didn't watch you do them. And I'm like, okay. So I did them again, and I was finishing up, and then my mom, like, told my dad to throw one thing at me, and he's like, now do your splits, and I'm like, I already did them twice, and he's like, well, I didn't see you do them, and I'm like, so, and then my legs were kind of sore the next day, which ended up being bad because I had dance. Now let's work on it again. And then one more time. Okay. So that is gonna be it for this video. Yeah. Peace out. Bye.